Thank you all for being here. We're going to start some speeches in a sec. I see a lot of you in the shade. No shade. But if you want to get a little closer, fill out this space. We'd appreciate that. My name's Antonio de Loera. I'm the Executive Director of the Yolo County Democrats. I also work for United Farm Workers. Very proud to be here today with all of you. Most importantly, I'm from Yolo County. And it makes me so proud to see people from every corner of Yolo County, from West Sacramento to Esparto, out here today. We are here to engage in our constitutional right of peaceful protest. This is also about connection. I'm looking out at the signs and I see a lot of different signs. I see no kings. I see no kings, no nukes. I see no war. I see no healthcare cuts. I see no ICE. Whatever brought you here today, we are here in shared struggle. So this is about connection with each other, with our shared communities. It's about being here as a state, as Californians, as a nation, as Americans, as a planet, as human beings. So this is not abstract. Take a minute, look around this gathering. Who came with you? Who will you walk beside with during this march? Who is standing next to you? Is there a cause that you don't know much about, that you can learn more about today? Is there something you have brought with you that you want others to learn about today? There are over 3,000 gatherings like this all across the country. People who we've never met, who are standing with us here and around the country. We're all standing together. We're in community today. So take that time to reach out to someone new, smile, even hug someone, get to know each other a little bit, because we're in this together. Speaking about being in this together, we want to keep each other safe. Sometimes, we all know it, there are people who show up because they want to start an argument. They're looking to pick a fight. They want to get a rise out of you. They might be trying to post something on social media that makes you look bad. So we'll just talk about that for 1 second. Here's what you should not do in that situation. Don't confront them. Don't try to stop them. I'll tell you why. The best case for them is that they get the narrative that they want, and that's to make you look bad, that's to make you look angry, that's to make you look unhinged. You don't want that. We don't want that. We want you to be safe. We want you to have a good time. We want the arguments that we're all making here today to be what shine out, not the controversy, not any conflict. So we're going to be resisting any attempt by agitators to make us not keep our cool. We're going to maintain nonviolence. So we're going to just do a quick safety chant, and I'm going to say some stuff, and then you're going to say some stuff, okay? If someone's yelling nasty stuff or getting in our face, we're going to ask you, do not engage. So what do? Do not engage. If someone's yelling nasty stuff, what do? Do not engage. All right. If someone's filming you and won't go away, even if you ask them not to, we're going to turn our back. So what do if someone's getting up in your face with a camera? Turn our back. What are we going to do? Turn our back. And if you feel yourself getting angry, if someone's getting a rise out of you, we're going to keep ourselves calm. So, what are you going to do? Keep yourselves calm. What are you going to do? Keep yourselves calm. And if a fellow attendee, someone we care about, someone who's here with us, sharing their cause, is getting angry at such a person, if you see your friends, your fellow attendees losing their cool, getting angry, we're going to keep each other calm. What are you going to do if you see someone else getting angry? Keep each other calm. What are we going to do? Keep each other calm. Finally, if someone out there who's trying to provoke us decides, after we've turned our back, after we've kept our calm, after we've ignored them, they decide they've had enough, they're going to leave, what are we going to do? We're going to let them leave. What are we going to do? Let them leave. Again, if they've decided they've had enough, they weren't able to provoke us and they are going to just go home, what are we going to do? Let them leave. All right, I think we all have a plan. We know what to do. We're going to keep our cool. We're going to keep ourselves safe. We're going to keep each other safe. We're going to let anyone who comes here trying to ruin what we're building here together with people from across the country, we're going to let anyone like that, we're just going to ignore them and we're going to let them leave. All right? Yeah. All right. Now I'm going to hand it over to Stephen Murphy from Indivisible YOLO, really the mastermind behind this whole operation. He's going to say a few words of welcome. Let's give him a big hand of applause.
Thanks, engineer. Big blessing is let others do it for you. But yes, so my name is Steve Murphy. I am a leader on the Indivisible YOLO team. And today I just want to say, on behalf of Indivisible YOLO, I also want to recognize the leadership in our community of our partners and co-hosts, primarily LACLA, the Labor Council for Latin America Advancement, the local chapter of the leading national organization for Indigenous, Latino, Chicano workers and their families. Thank you for being with us on this very important day. And also to thank the Davis Coalition, who has been working tirelessly to eliminate intolerance and promote a world where all are safe, respected, and free from violence. So thank you, Davis Phoenix Coalition. We also want to welcome all of you and to thank all of our partners for their support and all these wonderful tables and organizers. And if you haven't had a chance to talk to them, we're going to be going through our speaker program and things are going to start moving fairly rapidly, so I would check it out. But thank you to all the partners here today. And just a bit about Indivisible YOLO. We've been fighting Trump and Trumpism in all its manifestations since 2017 as part of the Indivisible movement. We couldn't do this without all of you. And our role is to help you find your voice and take effective actions. We are here to say no to kings and their oligarchic enablers that seek to deny our rights, imperil our economy, and attack our communities and endanger the world with reckless, illegal wars. No ICE, no rule, no kings. So, we're happy you're here today, and we hope you can find the courage to continue to stay engaged. So join the movement and stay active. There's plenty of opportunities over there. It's through community and connection that we can tap into the power and strengthen our movement. This is the biggest single day of protest mobilization in U.S. history. You're part of over 3,000 events. And shortly, we'll be marching to the state capitol to gather with Indivisible Sacramento to create the biggest No Kings yet in the Sacramento region. So welcome. Thank you.
All right, one more time for Indivisible YOLO. You know, this is the fun part where we get to show up and protest, but we got to keep some of this action going every day. And that's what Indivisible YOLO and so many of the other organizations here do. So do take the suggestion, figure out how to get involved. We need to keep doing stuff, not just one weekend every couple of months. We got to do stuff every day. With that, I want to introduce our first speaker, Noel Rodriguez. Noel is a son of the San Joaquin Valley, from a small country town, born to parents who were farm workers. He's a fourth-generation Mexican-American who knows well the challenges faced by all of our communities today. He is a UC Davis alumni and a Sac State alumni. So he's got both sides of the Causeway Classic. He has a long history of working as a community organizer, a manager of youth programs, a manager of the public authority of IHHS, and he is currently a program consultant with Rise Inc., one of our great nonprofits here in Yolo County. He has served as a library trustee and is currently the president of the Woodland Joint Unified School District Board of Trustees. Let's give Noel a round of applause. Let's welcome him to the stage.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. Thank you, Indivisible YOLO, for the invitation to speak today. I'm Noel Rodriguez. I'm a local school board trustee. I live in Woodland, but I'm from, there you go, Woodland, but I'm from Delray, California, a small town in the San Joaquin Valley. I'm a son of a farm worker, and I also worked in the agricultural fields. Today, I have great pride in celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Farm Workers' March. The march was a testimony to the ideals of dignity and justice for farm workers who dealt with deplorable working conditions, low wages, and rampant racism. Today, we all find ourselves in a similar plight as we gather in the fight for dignity, justice, and the survival of our democracy. We are experiencing an authoritarian administration which has our country in a constitutional crisis. Due process is being trampled, healthcare programs cut, the weaponizing of ICE against immigrants and citizens, threats to special education funding and funding for migrant and low-income students. Then the SAVE Act, you've heard about that? Which may block more than 21 million Americans from voting. And we are now in a needless war. So today we gather to fight for our democracy, to fight for dignity and the rule of law for all in this country, citizen or not. And we gather to reject the cruelty and hostility displayed by this administration. People don't lose freedom overnight, said Malcolm X. They lose it by accepting injustice one day at a time. I want to share some insights with you from the director of the Oscar-winning film Mr. Nobody Against Putin, which highlights efforts of Putin's regime to spread propaganda in schools. The director said, "My film is about how you lose your country. We learned you lose it by countless small acts of complicity. We are complicit when ICE shoots people in our streets and when oligarchs take over the media and we say nothing. We will face a moral choice, but even a nobody is more powerful than you think," he said. "We can all make a difference. And so we must stay engaged. Though you may grow tired and weary, no one is coming to save us. Only we united can change things. Only we united can change things." Justice Sotomayor shares that some days she gets discouraged, at times deeply disappointed, and she asks herself, is it worth it anymore? And every time she licks her wounds for a while. Sometimes she cries, and then she says, "Okay, let's fight. Let's fight." Remember that as a nation, we have been here before. In 1903, 73-year-old Mother Jones marched 100 miles with mutilated children to confront President Roosevelt. Her march included children with missing fingers, begging for school instead of factories. Her movement helped end child labor. In California, the farm workers movement fought for fair pay and safe working conditions. The women's suffrage movement meant women gained the right to vote. The labor movement, the civil rights movement, all tremendous challenges that would see success if we don't give up. This president's decisions haunt us daily, purposefully. Don't focus on him. It's not about him. It's about us. It's about our collective power to stay engaged, to motivate the community to vote, to protest for rights, and the power to say, hell no, not in our name, hell no. We just have to keep shining, keep marching, keep voting, keep organizing for as long as it takes. Dr. King reminds us that the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice. Yet it does not bend by itself. It takes fortitude and courage to bend the arc. Ask, what must I do to make that arc bend? What must I do? I believe the arc bends when we run towards justice. And if you cannot run, then walk towards justice. And if you can't walk towards justice and you find yourself overwhelmed by this administration's lawlessness and injustices, and you find yourself down on your knees, then pick up your head and crawl towards justice. Do whatever you need to do, but keep moving towards the light of justice. Lastly, I want to share with you the story of little Annabella. On January 11th, Annabella, a 6-year-old New Jersey first grader, was left alone in her family's apartment when her dad, Anadil Rodriguez, stepped out to pick up a quick food order. He was detained and taken away by ICE agents. He says he tried repeatedly to tell agents that Annabella was all alone inside. They replied, "We're not here for your daughter, we're here for you." Annabella recalls waiting a long time for Dad to return. She called her mom, but no one answered. She wanted to tell her mom that Dad had not come back, and she cried. She then changed her clothes to go out and find some help. Now, before she went outside, she stopped in front of a mirror and spoke to herself. She said, "Try to be calm. Try to be calm. Dad is fine." A first grader. Mustering up all her courage, she went outside to find help. She didn't think it was hard what she did. It was just what she had to do. Ultimately, a neighbor helped her find her mom. In her darkest hour, she became the light. If Annabella can look in the mirror under a tremendous time of duress and just do what she needed to do, so can we. If a first grader can have hope at such a terrifying moment, so can we. If a first grader can be calm and keep working to find solutions in an unimaginable circumstance, so can we. And if a first grader can be courageous and shine like a light in her darkest hour, so can we. And so we must continue to insist for justice, insist for dignity, for rule of law, for government that is truly for the people. So in the end, we have a birth of a better democracy, a stronger reverence for our Constitution. And as Lincoln reminds us, so that government for the people and by the people shall never perish from this earth. Never perish from this earth. It's time to be the light. It's time to shine, people. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Noel. Let's hear it one more time for Noel and for Woodland. We're going to hear a little bit from West Sac next. Is West Sac here? I want to acknowledge one specific individual who's here from West Sacramento, or actually his wife is here, but one of Indivisible YOLO's West Sacramento Activist Circle members, Louis Campos. His wife is here today, and 60 years ago, Louis Campos marched across that bridge in 1966 for farm worker rights. And that struggle continues today, as Noel reminded us. The farm workers' cause continues today. So many of our struggles continue today. And now I want to invite someone from West Sacramento up to speak. And that is Alfred Melbourne. Alfred is the founder and director of Three Sisters Gardens, a nonprofit organization here in West Sac dedicated to youth empowerment, food sovereignty, and community healing. A member of the Fort Peck Assiniboine Sioux tribe, Alfred launched the org as a grassroots response to food insecurity and disconnection among urban youth. Through the practice of indigenous and sustainable farming, TSG leads at potential high promise youth in growing, harvesting, and distributing organic produce while cultivating community resilience. So with that, let's welcome Alfred to the stage.
Thank you guys. Let's make some noise, man. I want to hear you guys. West Sac Project's in the house. Yeah, so we're here to let these folks know that we exist and that we resist, you guys. It's my pleasure to be able to stand here on my homeland where I was born and raised, and to raise this voice, this alarm, to call for no kings now and no kings ever in America. So I have a question for you guys here. Can everybody hear me? Yes! How about you way over there in the back? Yes! That's right. Whose streets are these, you guys? Our streets! Whose streets? Our streets! Free? Free? Palestine! Free? Palestine! Abolish? ICE! Abolish? ICE! That's right. No? Kings! No kings. Awesome, you guys. We're all on the same page. We're here for the same reason, you guys. And when we raise our voice collectively, there's no way that they can stop us, you guys. So keep yourselves loud. Let everybody hear you. Stay true, you guys. But I'm going to start off with some words here. Many of us might think that the world we currently know is how it's always been. It hasn't always been this way, you guys. Prior to colonization here on Turtle Island, there have been First Nations people here since time immemorial. So let us acknowledge the First Nations people of this land. We have the Yochadihi Wintu Nation, Patwin people, Nisenan, Miwok, Maidu people. And I implore all of you guys here to find out whose traditional homeland you live on here on Turtle Island and acknowledge them with more than just words. My name is Alfred Melbourne, and I'm a member of the Great Sioux Nation. I'm here today, not just as a concerned resident of Yolo County, but as a descendant of people who have survived over 500 years of broken promises and attempts to strip us of our sovereignty. I'm calling upon everyone here to raise the collective voice and repeat after me. No kings. No kings. No kings. No kings. No kings is not just a rallying cry, you guys. It's a call to action. We can see what our current commander-in-chief is doing, willing to risk it all and burn the world to cover up their crimes. It's not as bad as they say, right? It's worse, you guys. The time is now. We need community to come forward and stand up against this corrupt and illegal government leading us towards chaos and tyranny. From the president down, they must be impeached and removed. We're calling for Article 2, Section 4 of the United States Constitution. It provides the legal basis for removing federal officials, you guys. The career politicians and so-called leaders are not going to save us, you guys. We have seen all along that they will sell us out at their earliest convenience and leave us hanging, you guys. Right? Yes. To paraphrase Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., we need leaders not in love with money and power, but in love with people and justice, you guys. The only way that happens is if we stand up and we make it happen, you guys. So that's why I'm glad to see all you guys here today standing up as one. We need leaders from within communities like this one right here in West Sacramento, and in Sacramento and throughout this great state of California. We are the 5th largest economy in the world, and we are leaders. As California does, the nation does. We're at a crossroads. This administration thinks their rule is absolute. They threaten our rights, they ignore the courts, and they divide our communities. Enough is enough. Today, we're taking to the streets from West Sacramento across the Tower Bridge to the California State Capitol to say no thrones and no kings. We will defend our families. We will defend our land. We will defend this democracy, even when the government acts against its own constitution. They want us to believe that resistance is futile. But look at this movement. Look around you. All these faces ready to resist and stand up. It's growing stronger every day. So stand firm. Let your voice ring out. We're not going back. We are here. We are united, and we will not be silenced. Repeat after me. No kings. No kings. No kings. No kings. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Power to the people. Yes, big shout out to Indivisible YOLO Labor Council for Latin America Advancement for helping organize this event, and for all of you guys to continue to show up and raise your voice. Let them hear you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, Alfred. And don't forget to check out Three Sisters Gardens, which is Alfred's organization we mentioned. They do incredible work. Please check them out. You can find them on social media. I've seen some purple up here at front. Is SEIU in the house? Thank you all for being here. I also want to acknowledge the West Sacramento Democrats. I think the West Sac Dems, are you back there? All the organizations that are putting this on today, Alfred mentioned Indivisible YOLO, LACLA, also want to shout out the Davis Phoenix Coalition. Thank you all for co-hosting this event today. Our last speaker before we march is Dima Tamimi, a community organizer based in Davis, California. Is Davis here? Go Blue Devils. Dima is a member of the city's Human Relations Commission. Her work focuses on immigrant solidarity, community safety, food justice, and collective liberation. And she draws on her background in tech, marketing, and storytelling to support this work and a deep commitment to care, mutual aid, and dignity for all people. Without further ado, let's hand it over to Dima.
Thank you, Antonio, and thank you to all the amazing organizers and our previous speakers. Hello, everyone. Before we begin, I want to try something with you. If you believe, and I certainly hope you do if you're here, that ordinary people still have power in this country, raise your fist with me for a moment. Y'all look beautiful. Look around. Look around at the people standing beside you. These are your comrades in peace and justice. Authoritarians demand subjects that rely on a single leader. But movements and even revolutions are made by ordinary people that together, collectively, are the true power. People who've decided that the world we're living in right now is unacceptable, and that together we're going to change it. So let me welcome you. If you joined this struggle many years ago, thank you and welcome. If you joined last year, thank you and welcome. If this is your first protest or active resistance ever, thank you and welcome. Some of us have been in this fight a long time. Some of us arrived later when something finally cracked open. But right now, in this moment, what matters is this. You are here, and you are welcome here. Welcome to the movement. Welcome to a new kind of revolution that is rooted in love and collective care. There is no single face to this movement, because movements transcend individuals and they gather their power from the people, the many, because we are the power. Somos el poder. Today we gather to honor and also reckon with our history, to bring together our different experiences and to imagine a shared future. We gather under the banner of No Kings, but there are many banners in this fight for liberation. What No Kings in particular stands for is simple though. No billionaire oligarchs deciding our future. No strong men ruling by fear. Because this country does not belong to kings. It belongs to the people. But if you are serious about saying no kings, we have to be serious about the full picture. We have to be serious about the ICE raids and crackdowns in Minnesota. We have to be serious about what our leaders are doing to Venezuelans and Cubans. We have to be serious about a disastrous war in Iran launched without the consent of the people. And we have to be serious about Palestine, Lebanon, Sudan, Congo. Because these are not separate stories, they are all connected. They rely on the same logic of supremacy, the same machinery of surveillance, the same dehumanization, the same resource theft and extraction, the same demand that ordinary people will stay quiet and get used to the unbearable. And while I didn't say it earlier, we have to be serious about the abuse of power even within our movement. I am Palestinian, and I'm also American. My father is from Hebron, where we say El Khalil in Palestine. My father was studying medicine in Cairo when the 1967 war broke out. He had received the top exam grades in Palestine and therefore was sent abroad to study at just 18 years old, and he was the pride of his family. But when the war began, he was not allowed to return home to live with them. Occupation does that. It scatters families, it redraws lives, it turns borders into weapons. And I have been to Hebron in the West Bank. I have seen the occupation up close, the checkpoints, the humiliation built into daily life and government policies. So when I heard people describing the checkpoints and militarized streets in Minnesota, my mind went straight back to the West Bank. Because once a system like that is built, it doesn't stay contained. In Hebron today, Palestinians live under constant surveillance and tracking, state-sanctioned violence and intimidation. And Gaza has become something even darker, a testing ground for the future of warfare and AI-driven targeting. If we don't work together now, we should expect those tools to come here, and they already are. That is why the idea of collective liberation matters so much to me. Collective liberation means none of us are free unless all of us are free. Palestinian freedom is tied to immigrant freedom, to racial justice, to queer and trans rights, to climate justice. Our struggles are not isolated. They circle back on one another. My grandmother used to tell me stories about life before the occupation. She said that in Halil, Palestinian and Jewish families once lived side by side and called one another cousins. Her uncle was a musician who would play music with his Jewish neighbors. That story left a mark on my soul because it reminds us that division is not inevitable. The oligarchs need us divided. In fact, they rely on it. They need us suspicious of one another and afraid. But there is another way to live, and that way begins with courage, together. For a long time, I was afraid to say the words "Free Palestine." I was afraid of what it would cost me, afraid of being smeared, afraid of being pushed out. But my silence became a cage that sickened my soul. So I started to speak. And on the other side of that fear, I found something powerful. I found community, I found comrades like you, and I learned something important. Courage is contagious. So maybe it's ICE raids that are what brought you here. Maybe it's this war in Iran. Maybe it's Palestine. Maybe it's watching authoritarianism creep closer and closer to home. Maybe it's really realizing that much of our media is shaped by those who benefit from keeping us uninformed. So be thoughtful about where you get your news. Support independent journalism. Ask, who benefits from the story you're being told? Movements grow when people begin to see things clearly. And then we do what people have always done in dark times. We eat together. We organize together. We keep the flame alive. Across the world, people have been rising up against fascism and state violence because solidarity cannot be blocked. Just this week, humanitarian activists on the Nuestra America convoy successfully broke the blockade, delivering aid to Cuba. This April, ordinary people from around the globe will again attempt to break the ongoing siege of Gaza through the global Samud flotilla. This movement is global. For too long, we have been quiet. But not today. Not anymore. And it means something powerful that we are marching here today. Almost 60 years ago, farm workers marched hundreds of miles to Sacramento demanding justice. They marched for dignity. They marched for workers. They did not march for a single person or leader. They marched for the people. And today we carry the spirit of that movement forward. Across this country, people are rising. They're connecting the dots and they're refusing fear. And our future depends on what we do next, on whether we stay divided or whether we stand together, on whether we stay silent or whether we speak, on whether we act like individuals or we act like comrades. So as we march today, remember this: you are not powerless. History changes because ordinary people act. It changes because people take risks, because comrades stand shoulder to shoulder and refuse to give up. So look around you again. Raise your fist with me one more time and let them hear us. The people united will never be defeated. Come with me again. The people united will never be defeated. One more time so they hear us all the way to the Capitol. The people united will never be defeated. Thank you, comrades. We are the power. Somos el poder.
All right, one more time for Dima. All right, folks, this is the fun part. This is the part we all came for. It's one thing.